My story is about this lady. Her name is Mengqi. She lost her vision when she was 6. She lives in Beijing right now and has 2 jobs. One day I was chatting with her. I just asked her, Mengqi, what do you usually do on weekends? She told me, walk on the street, window shopping, running, and watch movie. I was surprised when I heard she said, watch movie, because I never thought she watched movie. What I learned from that is she tries to live like, as a daily life we have. But what have we done to enable her or support her to live like us, a daily life like us, independently? Mobile phone probably is the most frequently used device on the world. As a researcher in HCI community, the community is proud of the graphic user interface. What you can see is what you get. But what if you can't see? There are so many challenges for Mengqi and millions of people like her, blind people. Actually, visually impaired doesn't sound nice in Chinese. They prefer me to say blind people. So thanks to Google and Apple, they at least provide accessibility technology, voice over talkback for blind people. They can touch the user interface and read. So actually, they read the UI underneath, the code underneath the UI. But most of the engineers who write the UI code, they don't know the accessibility depend on that. So many times, the UI components cannot be read. The user interface cannot be understood. Even you know what's on the interface, it's very difficult to complete tasks. Just imagine, look for a button, look for an icon on a specific position on a small screen, and you need to click it. Many times try, many times mistake, you may get it. Okay, spend several weeks to learn an app, and the mobile app can be updated quickly. So Mengqi has to start over again. That's all the challenges for people who can't see to use mobile phone. So what's our design to help them? We call it Smart Touch. First, we have a UI proxy, which can understand the user interface components and read it out much better. And the most important one is we design this button. We give a name called Braille buttons. So these buttons actually are designed very carefully. On the left side, there are 3 haptic buttons which always provide the same functions. The first one is read user interface, stop reading, and go back to the home page. On the right side, the 3 buttons actually are dynamically changed based on the different apps, different user interface. There was a long way to even design the buttons right. And this is not my work. This is a team's work. The idea comes from the Professor Yu Chun, Tsinghua University, part of our joint research lab. Currently, we're working with a group of engineers and product managers at Alibaba A-Map. If you don't know A-Map, which is largest navigation app in China, there are already 7 million users in China. So we are working together to deliver this on A-Map, in Chinese Golden Map, to help the people, the lady on my picture, she can go out, she can take a walk in her neighborhood independently. So next, I'm going to give you a demo to show how Smart Touch works on A-Map.
Can I just say, I think it's wonderful to see the entire team up in your presentation. That's very nice. So this is exciting. Show me how this works.
Okay. First, I like to show you this little tool. This one actually is designed by a great designer and our team to help even put the Braille buttons on the phone. So it's just press, and the buttons can stay on the phone.
So the buttons adhere to the screen, is that right? And you use this to, I guess, accommodate different devices?
Correct. It's well laid out. Because we, this one, it's not for business. We will distribute thousands to the offline store Alibaba in China. So we have to make it work for every phone, different size, different models.
Mm-hmm. So once you put the buttons on, then what?
Pardon?
What happens once you put the buttons on? You have to install software?
Yes, so you will install the AMAP, but since AMAP doesn't work outside China, so I use GPS simulator to simulate its speed. It's a live demo.
So we're doing a live demo, and we're using it through servers in China, right?
Yes. Okay. It should work.
So it's talking to us?
Yes, that's how blind people use the phone.
All right.
It touch and it talks. Yes, okay. I just don't. Let me know if you guys cannot see it.
All right, can we get this up on the screen? Great, yes.
So just.
So you're opening the app.
Yes, so I'm going to translate. So this one tells you, talks about what's on the user interface. Stop reading. Go back to the home page. Lost internet connection.
Oh no. Didn't I say it was a live demo? I did.
Okay, let me try it again. Let me just tell where I am right now. So it said GPS cannot locate.
Oh no. All right, but you were walking through these other menus, and you were saying, so these are for the phone.
Correct.
And these are for the specific app. The
right, yeah. So if I have the GPS, this one just like a search destination.
Okay.
And this one tells where you are. This one, you're like a favorite. If I touch this one, I can search a destination. Then on the next page, those functions will dynamically adapt to the page. I can give you another example because we piloted this with Mengqi, and she actually used this, went out, took a taxi, took a subway. What she shared with us, she really liked the taxi function. Once you use the app, call a taxi, there are 3 functions here. The first one is call the driver. The second one is tell you how far the driver is to you. And the third one is cancel the reservation in case accidentally. That's what we are working right now. So next week, we are going to pilot this with 200 blind people, around 100 senior people in Fuzhou. They're elder people like 50, 60 years older. So they cannot go out because so many cars, but we hope with this, they can at least work a little bit, And also we will pilot another 100 people in Zhejiang. They have a school for blind young people to say, we will formally launch it in June, but we want to do the iterative design process, test in the field, and hopefully when we launch it, it works well.
That's incredible, incredible. So you basically navigate through this phone using the audio feedback, using the buttons, and finding your way through. I think it's incredible just that you can use such a visual app. I mean, a smartphone, just a smartphone itself is so highly visual. For you to figure out a way to navigate this is something I couldn't imagine.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I have a couple questions for you.
Yep.
So you're part of Damo Academy. What is the scope of what Damo does? Tell me a little bit about working in this group, because you had a bit more of an aligned with the business role before, and now it's very research-driven.
Yeah, so Damo has different labs focused on technologies. We have big AI lab, we have a big NLP, natural language processing lab. We also have a team to work on the smart chip, and also something very front end like quantitative computing. And my lab specialize in human-computer interaction because we think all the technologies actually serve for people, and HCI is the only field in computer science to connect technology, bridge technology with people.
And tell me how you, well, as much as you can possibly tell me, it's the lab, right? You're working on things you can't talk about. What are the different modes of interaction you're looking at? So you're showing me two, right? You're showing me touch, and you're showing me audio.
Yes. So my team actually works on 5 senses. We think, like each side technology actually enable every technology trend. At the PC time, it's mouse, keyboard click. In the mobile time, it's touch. But touch is designed for small screen. With all the voice, we think the new experience, new interaction should really leverage humans' 5 different senses. So we work on the mixed reality. We work on the haptics. The project is one of the haptic interaction. We also work on something who digitalize the sense of smile.
Yeah. Are there other, so this is focused on, the world's most popular device, based on my informal observations. Are there other kinds of environments that you're working on,
Yep. So the other interaction technology we're working on actually can cross different devices. It's offline store or hotel. You think about Alibaba economy. We're not only e-commerce. We also have so many. We call it new retail. There is no very clear line between online and offline. So and also our technology could work on Alibaba's Tmall Genie, its voice, smart voice interaction as well. So there are different, we call it scenarios of business use case. This technology can be applied.
I mentioned your former role. So a few years ago, you were let me get this right, the UX design director, is that right? Research director, thank you. And that role was much more directly aligned with Alibaba's business. You're in a research role now. One of the things that Fortune 500 and Global 500 companies struggle with the most is trying to figure out how to innovate within an established company, right? It's the innovator's dilemma. How do you treat R&D? How do you see that now that you're in this dedicated R&D unit? How much do you think about tying it back to Alibaba's revenue?
Yeah, that's a great question. When Damo was first established, we spent a lot of time to think what's Damo's position. Is it like Microsoft research, IBM research? Oh, it's different. I think in my own word, I think it's more like we believe if you work on some very technology which bring the new value, and the research papers, patents just come out as byproduct. So for our mission is really to to innovate new products, as well as to benefit millions end users from those new technologies.
The technology industry's relationship with accessibility has been an interesting one over the years. Apple was very early in it. Parts of Microsoft were early in it. And you used to work at Microsoft. And its current CEO, Satya Nadella, told me a couple years ago when I was writing a story about him for us, how passionate he was about this subject because his own family, his children, are affected by this. I feel like we're getting to a place now where more companies are trying to be more inclusive of people with different abilities, is the best way to put it. Do you feel like there's more support for this kind of work now? either because of interest or technology or revenue? What's the driver, if you think that's true?
I definitely feel, there are more people who, care about this. So when I started this project, it's just like one of my 5 cents until I asked Mengqi, and she told me, say, watch a movie. It just made me realize, okay, so like for people like us, we have so many technologies, tools, apps, which help us, make us like faster, happier. We're spoiled by technology. But there are so many people, like 300 million people, they even don't have a tool to support their car. So this kind of technology to enable people who, from cannot to can, that's a big difference to make it better. So, once I share this with my AMAP teams, with other teams, they just think that's the right thing to do. That's the thing you can provide values for different people.
Right, right. And clearly your company thinks the same because it's putting money behind it, right?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about, and frankly, so does the folks here. We've talked about empathetic design pretty much through this entire conference. It's definitely a theme. Tell me a little bit about where we go from here. So solving the visual challenges of a smartphone is definitely a big one. Where do you see are the biggest opportunities for human-computer interaction, HCI?
That's a very big question.
Yes, it is.
So currently for this particular research, this work, we are working really, turn it from a research prototype in the lab to real product. So we start from a map, navigation app, since that's the mostly frequently used for people and also blind people. And our plan next is really to try to enable this technology in different Alibaba's app. Today, Alibaba's app can support not only navigation, shopping, order delivery food, which is very important for blind people in China. So that's actually the next step. But in terms of the HCI, I think I was inspired by the haptics feedback. And also when I tested this app map, but too bad you guys couldn't hear it. Like the speed, the talks so fast. The first time I heard that, I told my product manager, it's not correct, let's change it. Actually, that's how the blind people are trained. I listened to Mengqi's phone. It's 3 times faster than this one. I even couldn't hear that. It just made me think, okay, there are different capabilities. How could HCI research or design can really, build on that and make it more helpful?
Well, that couldn't be more inclusive, right? Chen, thank you so much for a peek at the work inside your lab. Thank you. A round of applause, please.